psychic news and a spiritualist medium to investigate.
There are a lot of people here. This may sound quite an obvious thing to say, perhaps, given the history of this place. There is a lot of anger. I would have expected sadness and sorrow as an ordinary human being, but there's a great deal of anger here. Frustration, animosity. Quite a few very strong personalities came through, and I've seen 2 or 3 people since I've been here. I saw what looked like a woman. She was the first person that I saw. It looked to me as if she would have liked to have worn white. I don't suppose for 1 minute that it would have stayed white in these surroundings, but it seemed to me that she was wearing a long white frock or robe or gown of some kind. I'm being told as I speak of her that this was something, oh dear, that she wore because she was in fact killed. She was put to death. I know that there are earthbound entities here. I know they are. I know very well that somebody's been standing with me all the time and is probably very anxious to move on.
Lynn made contact with this spirit. His name was Richard Oddick, a prison warder from the time of Queen Elizabeth I.
He can't clear his conscience. He cannot clear his conscience. He is associated with this. He's associated with many things that tormented and sometimes often killed off those in his charge.
The warders here were ex-King soldiers who took this job rather than a pension. They knew just how much corruption they could get within this prison.
Unable to face the prisoners he tortured to death, Richard Oddick could not move onto the spiritual plane. He stayed behind on the earth, lingering at the scene of the executions. Linda Swarte helped him to move on.
I'm asking some people from Spirit to come here. From what we call the realms of light. And to take this gentleman under their wing. And as they come, he weeps. And his wife is there. A wonderful scene of a reconciliation and a wonderful light. And this poor man is being led away gently, truly repentant. And I'm sure that he'll go forward now.
After 500 years of pain, Richard Oddick was finally moved onto a new spiritual plane. The Clink prison was burnt down in 1780 during a riot, but how many other spirits are trapped on the site? Perhaps we will never know.
I wouldn't give such a person the time of day, not ever, as far as I would be concerned. And yet, because I'm required, because it's required of me as part of my work, my vocation perhaps, so I took part in his renewal.
Well,
fascinating story, that, and clearly Lynn getting very emotional there, helping that person with some rescue work. Phil Scott, our resident clairvoyant and medium on the show, is with me now. Now, Phil, I've sat in rescue circles with you and Sheila, your wife, and other people, and it is immensely emotional, isn't it?
Oh, it can be, yeah. I mean, everybody that's there, you could have a dozen people there and they could all be pulled to tears. The word that Lynn used there, renewal, is a really good word to use, because it's like they are renewed within their lives. They've just found something brand new.
Now, in rescue work as well, where you're in a sense rescuing people and helping them to move on to the next realm, if you like, very often it's a case of making them look up to the light. I mean, this is, all the times ever I've sat in on circles like this always seems to be the key thing, make them look towards the light. Can they not see this light? Is this part of the problem?
What happens in a lot of cases when people are like that, it's because their emotions are making them feel as if they're in a dark place. And if you were out and your car broke down and it was dark at night and you saw a farmhouse or something with a light on it, you'd go towards it. And that's simply why the light is used, because it attracts their attention. And until they actually want to look for it, they just don't see it.